that moment like when you put pen to paper or maybe digital pen to PDF file? And what were the
Right.
emotions like that were running through your mind when you're signing all that?
Well, I was super excited, obviously, but I also just being only 2 years in and going on my third, I definitely am having some imposter syndrome. But obviously, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to learn there.
Welcome back to iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. What is going on? It is Battle, and man, we got a big show today. We're going to be breaking some news on the internet. But before we break the news, I got to give you a little backstory of our guest. Joining us today, former college volleyball standout who spiked her way into the wrestling ring, a proud graduate of the prestigious Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, hailing from Cedar Rapids, the high-flying, the hard-hitting sensation herself, and a fellow Ginger. Maggie Lee joins the show. Maggie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good, and I know that you're doing even better because, well, we've got some breaking news here on the show. Let's talk about it. We can now officially announce you have signed with TNA. How about that?
Yes, I am so excited.
It's been a long time coming, I know, because we've seen it. There's been discussions about the potential signing with TNA. Now we can officially break the news, say that you're officially signed with TNA. What was that moment like when you put pen to paper or maybe digital pen to PDF file? And what were the emotions like that were running through your mind when you're signing all that?
Well, I was super excited, obviously, but I also just being only 2 years in and going on my third, I definitely am having some imposter syndrome. But obviously, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to learn there and everything. I think it will be very good for me.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun because I know you've been featured on a couple of the Explosion episodes, and now you can officially say that you are a part of the Knockouts division. And earlier during the intro, we talked about volleyball, and your athletic journey did begin with volleyball before moving into wrestling. So tell me, how did your background in volleyball influence your approach to wrestling, and what motivated you to make the transition from volleyball to wrestling?
So I actually always wanted to be a wrestler. I just kind of went to college because volleyball was on the table. I didn't actually know what I wanted to go for in school because I was just like, yep, I want to be a wrestler, and that's not something you can go to college for, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like definitely, especially at my junior college, we did a lot of running, and that definitely translated to wrestling. Like my cardio was in pretty good shape when I started training because of that. So, yeah.
And it was just a seamless transition for you. Of course, our guest on the show right now, Maggie Lee, big announcement. She has now signed with TNA. And, the great thing about TNA is from the start, it has a long history of elevating women's wrestling. What does it mean for you to be a part of that legacy now of the TNA Knockouts division? And how do you see yourself shaping the future of the Knockouts division?
I'm really excited. Obviously, yeah, it does. It has tons of history, and everybody that has been there, I feel like is very well respected, and I'm super excited to be leaving my name with all of those other names. I think that what was the second part of the question? Sorry.
How do you see yourself shaping the future of the Knockouts division?
Oh, yeah, I think that I can definitely just I think I add something different, just the way I look. Like I'm super tall, I'm super thin, my hair is red and curly. I just think that I offer very a unique look, and my skills also I think that I do a good mix of all of it, I believe,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the exciting thing about the knockouts division. I mean, you look at who all's in there, and now you get to tangle it up with them, and you never know what's going to happen, especially now with TNA working with NXT, and that opens the door for more possibilities and crossover opportunities. Right now, I know you just signed with TNA, but if you could call your shot, who are you going to face? Somebody from TNA, somebody from NXT, maybe somebody from both in a triple threat match?
Jeez. Ooh. I mean, obviously, like I want to say I want to go after some gold, but let me think. Like, who's someone that I'm just like, ooh, you know what? I've already seen this on X, but me versus Sol Ruka. Or us
Ooh, that
tagging, I've heard both. Like, people are like, tagging or a singles match would be cool.
I could see you and Saul tagging, and she spent some time here at TNA. We've been to some of the tapings where she's been at. So if you do end
I
up
was there too.
tagging with her, do you already in the back of your mind have a tag team name thought out of, or you just gonna kind
I,
of wait and then see what happens?
yeah, I mean, she's got Zarya right now, so I'd be a third wheel.
I never say never. I mean, Zarya could go do something else, and then you and Saul can go after the TNA knockouts titles, the NXT or the WWE titles. There's a lot of things that you could go after very very soon, and I mean you've got a great a career ahead of you, and I mean it's fantastic. Again, signing with TNA, big stuff. Now, you talk about training and you've been doing this for a couple of years. And obviously, a lot of people know that you trained under Seth Rollins at, the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. Very unique experience. What were some of the most impactful lessons that you learned while training at Black and Brave Wrestling Academy?
Um, I would say they kind of told us like at the end of our training, they were like, we're not like making this happen for you. This is up to you guys to go. Like you have to put in the time, you guys have to put in the effort and go out and make it happen for yourselves. Like they'll give us feedback and everything, but like ultimately it's up to you how much you want it.
Yeah,
I would say that's the
absolutely.
biggest thing.
And while you're there, I know there's a lot of great trainers there as well. Was there anything that maybe when you were there with Seth, was there any piece of advice that he gave you in for this industry?
Um, I would like he's critiqued like multiple of my matches. I remember him just telling me that I moved really well very early on, but I know like I definitely like looking back at when I was in class, I was like, "Oh, I don't think I get it like the rest of the people in my class do." Like they like it took me a while to like believe in myself, I guess. But I feel like a lot of people say that early on.
Right, absolutely. And there's been a lot of talk about fresh faces, excuse me, bringing new energy into TNA. What do you bring to the table that fans haven't seen before?
I mean, like I said earlier, like I think just my look in general, but then the way that I mix styles in the ring, I think that's something different. I think that like with that, I can make different like matches with different people, different sizes. Like it could just be so many different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we briefly talked about it. TNA probably has one of the best women's division in all of wrestling, and I mean, you look at who's in that knockout division. To you personally, who do you see as your biggest challenge, and who do you think you'll have the best chemistry with in ring inside that knockout division?
Ooh, okay. So biggest challenge, I mean, ultimately you have to say Masha, right? She's the champ right now.
Mm-hmm.
But best chemistry, I I feel like I have to say Heather Reckless, Heather by Elegance, sorry. um, just because just because we have already wrestled. I've wrestled a couple of them now, obviously, but her and I have put on some fun matches before, so I would be excited to do it in a TNA ring.
Yeah, those would definitely. I mean, seeing you and Masha go at it, it's kind of like a David versus Goliath, but this time Goliath beats David. So I think that's going to be what we're saying in that match. And one really cool thing, signing with a major company, obviously a huge milestone. What's the next big goal for you in TNA, and how do you want to be remembered when people look back at your career inside that knockout division?
You know, I've like felt this way about my career in general, but like I want to do everything. Like I feel like everybody says that, but like I really do. I want to do everything. I want to have the tag titles. I want to have all of them. I want to have all of them. So wherever I need to start checking these off, I'll be doing that. I gotta make a game plan. Go back
Yeah,
to my
and we'll
college
be
volleyball days.
we'll be right here cheering you on. As a fellow ginger, we got to stick together because there's not very many of us left around the world. Last but not least, this is kind of like a fun question. Not really so much wrestling, but more of like get to know you kind of thing. And we're going to kind of paint a picture for those that are watching or listening to this right now. But you're leaving your place in the morning. You're getting ready to start the day. Before you put your car in drive, it's time to set the vibe. What is the first song you're playing as you're pulling out of the driveway?
Okay, you would ask me this question because this is such a tough one. Everybody asks, like, everybody's like, "Oh, what music do you like?" I'm being so serious. I like all music, all
Mm-hmm.
genres. I grew up in Iowa, so I like country music. I like rock. I like rap. I like pop punk. I like all of it. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. If I feel like it changes every day. It just depends on what I wake up and feel like listening to, I guess.
So what's your
I don't have a go-to.
what's your current favorite song that you could probably listen to on repeat then?
On repeat. I wish I could pull up my Spotify and, like, check right now. Um, uh, today at work, I was listening to a lot of Paramore,
Okay, we'll
I
say
guess.
Paramore. Paramore sets the scene. They're a Nashville band right up the street from us in Franklin. They're awesome. Paramore has some jams. I'll give it to you.
They
So
do.
we'll say Paramore. That's what you go with as soon as you
Okay.
pull out the driveway. Well,
Today.
today at least. Tomorrow it might be something different. It might be like Red Clay Strays tomorrow, and then the day after that it could be Kendrick Lamar or something. You never know.
You never know.
Well, I got to say, it is an honor and a privilege to have you on the show, Maggie, and I am excited that we get to break the news again, that you have officially signed with TNA. Before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say to people that are watching or listening to this right now?
Um, I, again, am thankful for everybody that helped me get to the position that I'm in today, and I'm excited for everybody to watch. My social medias are all at just Maggie Lee. Yeah, that's about it.
That's
Thank you for
about
having
it.
me.
Thanks for coming on, and thanks for letting us break this news, and we look forward to seeing knockout gold around your waist and over your shoulders, and we look for a very bright career with you in TNA.
Thank you.